So it's day 7 now, I think. It's funny, I lose track of the days. I always have since I don't actually work at any specific company or anything where I have to have a fixed schedule. I took today, I was going to go test out the demand for the type of scooter that we're using, but it ended up raining pretty hard today, and I figured it's probably a better case for, really seeing in a short period of time the amount of interest for a large volume of people. Seeing that the best possible time to do this is probably going to be this coming weekend. It's supposed to be sunny here in Washington this weekend, so I'm thinking Saturday and maybe also Sunday. I had some branding done for the scooter, some vinyling, so it'll have all the instructions on it on how to use it, some attractive decals and whatnot that set it apart from everything else with a unique design, on top of it being what it already is, which you guys still haven't seen. It really stands out from anything that I have ever seen on the street, and that's why I get so much attention to, which is another plus. Instead of just sitting around and pondering things today, I jumped ahead a little bit. It's been maybe, I don't know, a week and a half since I wrote some pretty in-depth code. Like prior to that, it's mainly been, just some basic web-facing JavaScript and whatnot, and more or less just me doing a lot of research and not actually coding. So I wanted to brush the cobwebs off a little bit, and I went ahead and I wrote up a full backend for this sharing service with everything. This is basically been my whole day. With everything from user registration to opting in scooters onto our service, getting their connectability working between the hardware we're going to develop, the MQTT end, which is a low overhead, basically data transport protocol for things in a connected environment. I guess maybe I can flip this camera around and show you guys some code. I ended up going ahead and writing our entire backend in Node.js today. And Node is something I've loved for years now, coming from prior to that doing backends in PHP, which in hindsight was just god awful. So I went ahead, I wrote, I think it's pretty straightforward backend right now. It's bare bones, it's made to be, extensible and just fit what we need for now. It's like maybe 5 or 6 endpoints that handle their functionality and give us room to grow from without over optimizing too early, which can always cause the problems. Never over optimize. I also wrote about 35, I think, integration tests for the core functionality of this backend. I can go over here and run them. I use Mocha for my integration tests on top of Chai and then the Chai HTTP library. So it basically lets me emulate, like, when I run these tests, real actual HTTP requests against the locally running API, so I get the most like real scenario test cases going. I've always preferred integration tests over like individual unit tests. I feel like it's a good balance between testing every single tiny bit of code versus what you're really caring about is the system's usability as a whole. So integration tests also save time for development and whatnot. So I have like 2 or 3 test cases I think that I still have failing, and it's super late and I was just gonna wrap them up in the morning. It's nothing that's hard to handle. It's just that it's been like 12 hours now or 10 hours of working on this and I'm pretty tired. So yeah, you just run npm tests. It'll run all the tests against the backend in real time, and like you can see over here, like this is my API running in a separate shell. But yeah, I have 3 tests failing, 31's passing, and that is basically making up the brunt of the brains of our So I'm trying to not jump ahead too far, but it's very easy for me usually just to build out pieces of systems that are usually, I think, kind of complex. Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this backend should have taken a lot longer than it did. It's like 6,000 lines of code or something like that, but hack it out in like a day, which is awesome. Or I don't know. I've found that when I develop stuff, I usually move way faster in development than the pace of the actual product. So I kind of have to limit myself there. and sort of take a step back and make sure that I'm not wasting my time in doing something too soon based on an assumption that it's going to be needed. This comes back to pre-optimizing systems before you have completely made sure that something is very necessary. Pre-optimization comes back. Sometimes it's for the good. If you have inferable data that makes sense why you should do something and build something, yeah, but otherwise pre-optimization can waste your time a lot of the time, or just be completely unnecessary and add bloat and just pointless stuff to your code. So yeah, the backend is, I would say, maybe in this case 25% of what's required to get a minimal viable product to market. Did that in a day. The things that will take longer are going to be reverse engineering the onboard controller on the type of scooters that we're using. This is not something people have done before as far as I can find on the internet, and it's basically going to be me going through a bunch of Chinese labeled wiring and figuring out what's what. Basically, yeah, figuring out how it all works. And then going from there, seeing how do we interface with all of the hard work that's already been done from the onboard controller and connect that up to something like a particle electron and some other shields, hardware shields, to get the functionality that we need over the air to control this thing and make it usable by people. So that'll be fun. That'll be a challenge, and that's the part I'm probably most excited to work on, because I think that's where my least capable technical abilities are, but I don't think it'll be a problem. The mobile app will be pretty trivial, I think. That'll be built in React Native. That is less of a technical challenge and more of just a time sink from a user experience and user interface perspective. I'm pretty confident that can make something undoubtedly as good. Probably, I would think we'll be able to do something better than all of the sort of existing apps in this space. Their interfaces are very simple. The things it takes to make those apps are not difficult. So yeah, just going to keep moving fast and getting things done, but not preemptively getting things done that might actually end up not being necessary. And see what happens. So today is, I think, Tuesday? Tomorrow, what am I going to do tomorrow? I still need to take some time to sort of feel out the scooter more. My initial impression was it's awesome, but I haven't ridden it in the rain. I haven't ridden it in very hilly environments. I haven't tested sort of like the edge cases of riding that come to an urban landscape, right? So like anything with a motor is probably going to work on flatland, but how does it work on, a sustained hill? Or how does it work when it's pouring rain outside and it's very slippery? Or how does it work when it just rained and it's still slippery? Yeah, so that's something I'm interested to test. We'll see what happens. I haven't ridden a bike in like a year and a half, so it was easy enough to ride and I felt very comfortable initially, but by no means am I an expert wheeler of anything, or expert rider of anything two-wheeled, so yeah. But yeah, thanks again guys for watching, and if you've kept up to date with all the videos so far. I'm really excited to see where this goes, given just the first 6-7 days so far. I really hope this is beneficial for at least someone out there, seeing the process, and maybe you'll see some things that you've sort of went through along the way that come with doing the startup thing, and realize that either A, you're not alone, or B, that maybe there's something you find that helps you. That'd be awesome. Anyways, like, subscribe. If you share the video with some friends, or share the challenge and the playlist for all the videos, there's a playlist up where I add each new video every day. That'd be awesome. Spread the word, let people know, help some people out hopefully. And thanks again for watching.